Okay, so the 2016 for your response questions, we'll start off with number one, which is describing a distribution. And I kind of do think there will be something with this. I think it's going to be comparing distributions, but this is good practice. So number one, Robin works as a server in a small restaurant where she can earn a tip from each customer she serves. The histogram below shows the distribution of her 60 tips for 1 day of work. First, write a few sentences to describe the distribution of tip amount on the day shown. So we know this is a SOX problem, right? Talk about the shape, talk about the center, talk about the spread, talk about any outliers you may see, and all of this in context. So let's see what I wrote. I wrote, the distribution for tip amounts is skewed to the right. Right? Remember, skewed right. The median tip amount is between $2.50 and $5. Now, how did I do that? Because it's 60 tip amounts. That means the median is between numbers 30 and 31, right? If you forget what it is, just make a smaller sample size that's even. So if you think 1, 2, 3, 4, then the median is going to be the average of 2 and 3. So here it's the average of 30 and 31, right? So take a look. There's 25 tips in this section, and there's 22 here. So that means numbers 30 and 31 are between 250 and 5, so the median could be anywhere between that. Then I said the amount tipped range from a minimum of 0 to 250. We don't know what it is, but it's in that category, all the way up to a maximum of 20 to 2250. So shape, center, spread, all talked about. And then I wrote, there appears to be a possible outlier in the 20 to 2250 range. Now, possible is very important because I don't know for sure it is, but we can state possible. So if you say possible, you're safe there. Now, part B. One of the tip amounts was $8. If the $8 tip had been $18, what effect would this have on the mean and the median? Okay, so first off, if you take an $8 tip, which is in this range right here, this is where $8 is. If you move it up to 18, it's going to become into this range right here. Now, what is that going to do to the mean? Well, think about it logically. This one should be pretty simple. What happens to the mean if you change an $8 tip to 18? The mean goes up because the total amount of tips increases and the number of tips does not change because it's not saying she got another tip, it's saying that she changed one of the tips from 8 to 18. So I wrote for the mean, if $8 tip were increased to $18, the mean would increase. This is because the total amount tipped of the 60 customers would increase, but the number of customers would not. Pretty straightforward. Context, again, don't forget the context. Don't just say it would increase. Give it in the context of the sentence, of the problem. Median. Now, the median's a little trickier. You got to do a little bit more thinking. Right now, the median is in this range from 250 to 5. If you took something from the group that had $8, which is this group, and shifted it to the right, to here, the 30 and 31st tip amounts, highest tip amounts, still will fall in this range, right? And should still be the same number because there's still the 30 and 31st highest tip because this tip was already higher than that. So I wrote, the median would not change if a tip was changed from $8 to $18. The median is currently between $2.50 and $5, located at the 50th percentile, or the average of the 30 and 31st highest tip. Both $8 and $18 are already larger than the median range, so the 30 and 31st highest tips will not change. And that's number one.